Hello and welcome, friends. My name is Jadehex, and this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, and, probably have some explaining to do. Yes, JBA Season 3 is still being uploaded. We're actually, really far behind the actual JBA weeks, but I will get the videos uploaded, by some time. I don't know exactly what schedule I want to be going up on. We have one more video from Kyle. I'll record one more. I hope you appreciated my little April Fool's nonsense. That was just a fever dream of a whim, and I liked it. It doesn't really matter if anyone else did, but I liked it, and had a lot of inside jokes and whatever have you, but that's not really important as of right now, because today we have some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. We'll have all the JBA videos up for week 3 on Wednesday. By Wednesday, I also have a TBU video going up Monday, probably, if not Wednesday as well, but I'll try to get it done Monday, because I have a decent amount of footage for that, so that should be done for TBU on Monday. Aside from all that, that's not what you're here for. I'm enjoying playing the hell out of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, and I mean, can you really blame me? This is like ingrained in my childhood. Not even just like Yu-Gi-Oh! In general. It's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Against AI, and I that. I played the GBA games and the DS games. Like, that was my life. Like, that was like what I did for the time being. Like, I just love playing against AI. I don't know why. I have this random aversion to PvP, but I love playing card games versus AI. I even play Hearthstone, and that's like PvP too, but like, I just love playing AI in these games. Regardless, Pegasus, yeah, why are we here? We are going to show you what I use to farm Kaiba. This is going to be my Kaiba Cerberus deck. People say Kaiba Cerberus is not a thing, but I hope to at least show you that it can be consistent, relatively consistent. This isn't fully like super duper all the time consistent, but I can get a decent enough consistency with this that I can farm level 30 Kaiba and not have any regrets. Level 40 Kaiba is a little bit harder because Cerberus cannot farm level 40 Kaiba, and that is for one reason and one reason alone, and that's Dimension Warrior. He will literally just run Dimension Warrior into anything that doesn't kill him, and yeah, that's an issue with Cerberus, because you kind of need to keep that sucker up. I know you can run Unhappy Go variants. I just happen to not have many Valkyrie packs, so I am very comfortable using the Cerberus deck. This is what I'm going to use. I do have Draw Sense Light on my Pegasus, which means instead of 1800, I'll only need to take 1500 to get my Cerberus out, which is nice for specifically Battle Locks, because Battle Locks will trigger it, and that's about it. I need to... well, Twin-Headed Behemoth will also trigger it in the Kaiba level 30 deck. I'm sure I've shown you the deck long enough. I might post it in the windows before, but I don't know exactly if I want to or not, just because rendering and whatnot. Whatever. If I can get this out, hopefully I've shown you enough of the deck to show you what I'm using. It's a little bit on the expensive front, because I am running a lot of the expensive equips and whatnot, and expensive kind of tech choices, that being cards like the Gravity Axe Grawl, which could easily be something else. Shooting Star Bow Seal is probably the most efficient equip as far as like getting actual damage out goes. I could be running Bright Castle. I do have my Pegasus up to level 35, but I like the additional utility in Gravity Axe Grawl sometimes. Sometimes you have a block attack burning in your hand. Sometimes you have some other stuff. I also have 2 Sphere Karibo. Those could easily be Adequate. Those could easily be Econs if you have it. But if you have Econs, there's no reason to farm Kaiba. Let's get real here. I also have Magic Jammer. Magic Jammer could just be one more Ruryoku field. I run 2-1, 2 Ruryoku field and Magic Jammer, 2 for the Econs. Sometimes Magic Jammer will be used on Econs. But sometimes I like using Magic Jammer on the Twister. Kaiba has exactly 5 spells in his deck, 2 being Econ, 2 being Twister, and 1 being Cost Down, which doesn't matter because he's only going to be using it on Gaktenu Megumi or whatever. This isn't refined. I might show you some refined lists in the future. D-spells help you get rid of Twisters. but considering I upped the level of block attacks, I'm not necessarily needing it as much as of right now. I have the Yami combo. I could use, I don't need a Twister. I could put my third Shard of Greed in. I could put a third Equip in, but I usually have one of my traps face down, so it's kind of sometimes inefficient. My double Ryoku because I am running 2 Cerberus. 2 Cerberus is ideal versus Kaiba because sometimes you don't draw your traps in time. You might want to run 3 Ryoku Field, 1 Magic Jammer, just no Magic Jammer, 3 Ryoku Field. You want to protect your Cerberus from those econs, basically, because he'll basically lethal you with them if you don't. But that's why I also have some Karibos and econs of my own. I only have 1 econ. As you know, it's not prismatic because I didn't do KC and I totally regret it. But I'll get an econ eventually, I promise you. But I'll show you the basic gist of it. Of course, the list isn't totally refined, but let's get into the battle regardless. Pegasus is my only draw since Light, and I prefer, well, draw since Light is like objectively better than the other ones because reasons. Because 1500 is way easier to take than 1800, especially versus Kaiba level 30. Yeah, so let's get into this, shall we? Okay, fantastic. Path of Feral Power. I have my Cerberus deck locked. Let's see how my basic RNG can get me. A couple of things you can do as well. Of course, you can run Bright Castle. It's probably your best equip outside of like Stim. But no, Stim Pack is the same as Bright Castle. Like Shooting Star Bow Seal works if you have an offensive monster you can put it on. He only uses Twister on Shooting Star Bow Seal if you equip it to Cerberus. But I don't really worry about Twister as much more now that I put the second block attack in. So, D-Spells also work to catch those Twisters as well, because he'll set, oh, it's really good for catching the cheeky econ before you start playing your Cerberuses, and that's cute as well. He's going to hit me for 2700, that's going to hurt. I'm not going to die from it, so I don't really care. But, yeah, that means I can activate my Draw Sense Light. Let's see, I'm going to be in a pickle. I do have to activate one singular spell. It looks like it's going to have to be that D-spell to get over these monsters here. He doesn't have anything more than 1900 in his basic arsenal. I'm just going to show him that I have a Ryoku field. Maybe it'll persuade him from not using the econ. I do have to use one single spell to get to 1900. I'm a little unsafe, but I do have Ryoku field as protection for the time being. If you have a third Cerberus, that can also work. I only have 2 at the moment, and my card traders aren't very nice for me right now. That's going to be a set Gyakuten and Megami. I can just sit on this Cerberus until a little bit later. I probably could feasibly get rid of a couple of the cards that I've been running. Like, I think I'm fine with the 1 Magic Jammer. It could just be a 3rd Ryoku field. It could be a 4th Ryoku field instead of something that I have. I might run triple Shard of Greed because that ups your consistency a lot more. Ideally, if I don't have a Cerberus in my first, like, it depends really. But basically, my Cerberus is safe for the time being, so I don't need to have the second one out. If I can get the second one out, it's amazing because I can Ryoku my Cerberus onto my Cerberus, and that gives me a huge spike to getting that 999 damage. We're gonna keep going for the Shard of Greeds. The sooner I draw my Pokemon, the better. He is going to try to take control of my monster. I do have my Ryoku field as protection for that. I think maybe running 3 Ryoku fields is a little bit better, but for consistency. But regardless, I'm usually fine with this. I just picked up my second one anyway. Let's draw first before we put anything down. That's going to be an Econ. That's going to be a Ryoku field. I basically learned for Kaiba, if you're running multiple Cerberus and 2 Ryoku, you can kind of run way less spells, and that will help a lot with your consistency and getting your Cerberuses out safe. That's a Twister, guarantee it. Gravity Axe Scroll is nice when you're playing with stop defense if you need to burn one. Let's pick those 2 cards. Those are going to be 2 Ryoku fields. Okay, so 2 Ryoku. Let's see. That's going to be a Gyakuten and Megami on the left. The middle one should be either Ryugashin, Behemoth, or Battle Ox. Let's see what's up there. It's going to be Saggy the Dark Clown. I'm going to throw down my Gravity Axe just to keep it in place until he tries to tribute it for his own Gyakuten Megami or the enemy controller. He doesn't tend to use his Twister on Gravity Axe Growl because he takes the 500 anyways. He doesn't really like wasting the card, but we'll keep his Saggy in place for now. What I can do later is for using my Econ as an actual just plain spell, just change his positions, end up flipping him back up, just fucking around with decisions. It's just nice knowing that it is going to be a Saggy the Dark Clown. I have 4 cards left in my deck. Magic Jammer isn't going to be useful. I don't care if he Twisters me anymore. That'll just be fodder. As long as you don't you for sure fill up your cards. If you do want to discard your hand, but not actually discard your hand, Stop Defense is probably your first set. Econ is your first set. Stop Defense is a nice optimal second set. I try to hold on to Yami, if not setting it first. Yami is another card you can just set. I usually wait until I get my my Cerberus onto the field. I actually usually don't leave my Cerberus at 1400 for this long. That's probably a no-no, but considering how threatening my first Cerberus is, oh wait, I have the Gravity Axe Growl in his field full. That might have been an indicator for why my Cerberus isn't dead right now, but I do have a couple Sphere Karibas as protection, so not the biggest of deals, to be honest. But here, okay, so I have 1 card left. I'm not going to be needing this Karibo, so I'll just end my turn. I'll end up activating that D-spell anyways. What leads me to think that is a cost down and that is a Twister, potentially. Maybe this is a cost down and that's a Twister, but those are the 2 cards that are down right now. His 3rd Econ is in his deck somewhere, which is nice because we're out of cards. We're going to start off with the Econ. Yes, we are. We're going to start off with the Econ, just to free up the space. We have our lethal turn. Just again, our idea is to activate as many spells as possible before setting up the Ruryoku play. We're going to de-spell. Let's say the left one's a Twister. And it's a cost down, so the right one is a Twister. He's not going to use it on my seal unless I put it on my my Cerberus itself, but that won't be an issue. Let's see, my next play is going to be the Murmur combo. Saggy's going to go straight back down. It's nice to get Ryukushin or Saggy with these. Of course, we get more and more counters, which means my Ruryokus on my Cerberuses are going to be that more lucrative. This is definitely going to hit 9k easy. We're going to flip up the Saggy one more time, and that's going to be the last spell I'll be able to activate before getting my Ruryokus off. And once you have multiple Cerberus, it doesn't really like the thing. You don't need as many spells as you would in a traditional Cerberus deck, which is really nice. It's something that I didn't appreciate in running multiple Cerberus in the past. Maybe because the budget option is to not have a bunch of Cerberus and Ruryoku, because it is really hard to build them at the very, very beginning. But that's when once you get a good enough card quality, or with events like the Bakura event, gives you a lot of coins. It's really, really nice that you can get second Cerberuses and second Ruryokus. They are pretty darn important. I already have the 9k damage if I Starbow the Saggy right here, but I'm just going to show you the full extent of the combo. That's going to be an extra 1100 plus 5 to my Cerberus right here. So that's a really good single spell for damage boost. Even after the second Cerberus. We know that one card's a Twister, and see, at this point it doesn't even matter if he destroys any of my equips or not, because I'm that much over 10k that it doesn't really matter. So if Saggy's going to be at 0, I'm going to be dealing 12,000 damage to him this turn, and this is basically what you can expect roughly. Sometimes I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Sometimes you're going to get some really crappy openings, and it's not going to work out for you. I would recommend getting Light, Draw Sense Light, or Draw Sense Light on one of your characters before trying Kaiba specifically at level 30, mainly because you're gonna have to take a lot of damage to trigger that 1800, and like if you don't have the Cerberus after a single Battle Ox attack, you're going to be in a lot of hot water. That's going to be an issue. Let's see what we got here. I think I'll roughly get 6,000 from this, which is a decent number for sure. Unfortunately, I didn't get that great a farm. I could have gotten a lot better. I don't think this is the best farm, but it's a very nice farm for early on in the game. Basically, all you want is maybe like 10 spells, 2 Cerberus, and a lot of protection. That's going to be roughly what you want. Anywhere from the Murmur field spell option is always a nice. Pick up a Yami from the card trader if you want to. It's just the most efficient field spell for Cerberus, of course. The Yumi from Mako Tsunami is also free, so that will work for the time being, but the Yami is not too expensive from the card trader, especially with all the early stuff. I think I'm going to cut it off at 15 minutes, but I think you got the gist of what I'm trying to do. My deck isn't even that refined. It's not that expensive, considering a lot of my supers. A lot of the important supers and ultras are from card trader, and you can afford them decently early, early in the game, especially if you dust some of the stuff you can get, like Red Eyes Black Dragon is a decent early dust to get an ultra rare gem if you need it, because you can always farm Joey for it in the future. So it's definitely, if you ever need a Red Eyes again, it's not like the end of the world. You can get it from Joey, you can get it from the card trader if you ever need it. But if you really want early ultra rare dust for the Ruriokus, that's probably the first place you want to stop. But yeah, Dark Magician kind of works too, even though you don't really like dusting Dark Magicians because they are very pretty. Regardless, that's gonna be it from me, more or less. Showed you my basic formula for farming Kaiba. You farm level 30 Kaiba because it's a little easier, and it's not that ball breaking, because Kaiba is a very, very hard farm. It's impossible with Cerberus, but it's a very hard farm in general, just because he has those econs, he has the Dimension Warriors, he has a lot of things that make you have a bad day. But regardless, that was a decent farm. Shame I didn't get anything pretty from that. But, as I said, that's going to be it for me. My name is Jadehex, signing out. JBA content will be up by Wednesday. TBU video will be up on Monday. Be sure to check them out. Other than that, that's going to be it for me. Signing out. I'll see you next time. Bye.